You skipped breakfast because you heard it would burn more fat. You forced yourself through the hunger. You even ignored the headache because everyone said discipline always wins. But then, by afternoon, you couldn't stop thinking about food. One cookie became six. One craving turned into an entire evening of guilt. You blamed yourself. Here's the painful truth. Your body may have been doing exactly what it was designed to do. And if that's true, then the real mistake wasn't your willpower. It was something silently happening inside your blood every single day. Most people never realize this. The number on a glucose monitor isn't always the real problem. The invisible damage often begins long before blood sugar looks high. That's the hidden question researchers have spent years trying to answer. Stay with me, because this changes everything. For years, you've probably been told the same story. Eat less, move more, avoid sugar. It sounds simple, so when it doesn't work, you assume you failed. But here's the part nobody talks about. Your body doesn't make decisions based on motivation. It makes decisions based on survival. Imagine your body as a busy city. Every cell is a home. Every road carries supplies. Your blood is the highway connecting everything together. Now imagine hundreds of delivery trucks carrying glucose. Glucose isn't the enemy. It's fuel. The problem begins when those trucks keep arriving faster than the city can unload them. Traffic builds. Deliveries slow down. Signals become confused. Your cells begin locking their doors. Not because they're broken, because they're trying to protect themselves. That's what insulin is supposed to solve. Insulin acts like the traffic officer, directing glucose safely into your cells. But when insulin has to blow the whistle all day, every day, something unexpected happens. The cells stop listening. Not completely, just enough to make insulin work harder, then harder again. And that's where everything changes. Researchers at Harvard and many metabolic research centers have shown that insulin resistance develops gradually, often years before diabetes is diagnosed. That means your energy can crash, your cravings become louder, your waistline changes, while routine blood tests still appear almost normal. I know. That sounds strange, because we've been taught to fear sugar itself. Here's what most people completely miss. Your body is reacting to the pattern, not just the food. Think about a smoke alarm. One little puff while cooking isn't a problem, but if smoke fills the house every hour, eventually the alarm loses meaning. Your cells behave in a surprisingly similar way. Constant insulin signals slowly become background noise. The message weakens, the consequences grow. Here's the critical thing to understand. This isn't simply about desserts. White bread, sugary drinks, poor sleep, chronic stress, hours of sitting. Each one quietly asks insulin to work overtime. Individually, they seem harmless. Together, they create biological gridlock. What happened next surprised researchers. Deep inside your cells lives another system, a backup energy sensor that watches every calorie arriving. When nutrients become constantly available, this sensor starts changing how your body stores energy instead of using it. Scientists studying metabolism at the Salk Institute have spent years exploring this hidden switch. Its name is AMPK. Most people have never heard of it. Yet it may determine whether your body repairs itself or keeps storing more energy than it needs. And here's where it gets counterintuitive. The same habits you believe are helping your metabolism may actually be keeping this powerful cellular switch turned off. The surprising part is why. Because the mistake isn't what most experts spent decades warning people about. It's something much quieter, something happening after nearly every meal. And once you see it, you'll never look at blood sugar the same way again. AMPK doesn't care about your intentions. It responds to signals. And the signal keeping it quiet for millions of people is surprisingly simple. Insulin that stays elevated for too much of the day. Not because you ate one piece of cake, because your body rarely gets a break. Think of AMPK as the maintenance crew inside your city. When traffic slows, the crew finally repairs roads, cleans debris, and restores damaged buildings. But if delivery trucks never stop arriving, the repair crew never gets permission to work. It stays on standby, day after day. That's the silent blood sugar mistake. Not constant high sugar alone, constant high insulin. Most people never test it, most people never feel it directly, but they experience the consequences. Low energy after meals, cravings that seem impossible to control, fat that refuses to leave, brain fog by afternoon. Your body wasn't fighting you, it was following survival instructions. Here's what changes everything. You don't need to punish your body, you need to change the signals. Warning comes first. Start your day with 25 to 35 grams of protein. Eggs with Greek yogurt, or cottage cheese with a handful of berries, or tofu with vegetables if you prefer plant-based meals. Why? Protein slows digestion, supports muscle, and reduces the sharp glucose rise that forces insulin to surge early in the day. Then move. Not an exhausting workout, just a brisk 20 to 30-minute walk after breakfast or your largest meal. This matters because contracting muscles can pull glucose from the bloodstream more efficiently, reducing the burden on insulin. Here's the part nobody talks about. The timing is often just as important as the exercise itself. By midday, build your plate differently. Fill half with non-starchy vegetables. Add lean protein like salmon, chicken, lentils, or beans. Finish with high-fiber carbohydrates such as oats, quinoa, or brown rice. Why? Fiber slows the arrival of glucose into your bloodstream. Instead of a traffic jam, your cells receive a steady flow they can actually handle. Now comes the evening. This is where many people accidentally undo an entire day of progress. Late-night snacking keeps insulin working when your body should be preparing for repair. Try finishing dinner at least 12 to 14 hours before breakfast the next morning. For many healthy adults, that overnight fasting window gives AMPK more opportunity to support the cellular housekeeping. Your body has been waiting to perform. Sleep is the final piece. Aim for 7 to 9 consistent hours. Why? Poor sleep raises cortisol. Higher cortisol makes your liver release more glucose and can reduce your body's sensitivity to insulin the next day. One restless night can influence tomorrow's blood sugar before breakfast even begins. Notice what happened here. None of these habits work because they're magical. They work because they send the same biological message. Traffic is under control. When that message repeats every day, your cells begin responding differently. Cravings soften, energy becomes steadier, your metabolism becomes more flexible. Not overnight, but consistently. That's how biology changes. One signal, then another, then another. Clean first, rebuild second, repeat. The biggest improvements rarely come from one dramatic decision. They come from hundreds of small biological victories that quietly compound until your body starts feeling familiar again. And here's the question almost nobody asks. What if the real reason your cells age faster isn't just blood sugar, but the tiny damage left behind after every spike? Because in the next episode, you'll discover the hidden process that links blood sugar to accelerated aging and the surprising daily habit that may help protect your cells before the damage becomes permanent.